We're 3 months into playing Endfield, and I think this is a very common feedback and question that people ask about Endfield. That is, will Endfield be able to get skins just like in the base game of Arknights? And for very good reason that people ask that, right? It's the same company, it's Hypergriff, and if you take a look at the case of Arknights, like right now, they're selling absolutely splendid and beautiful skins. You have skins that don't have any animation, so these are just standard 18 original prime skins, and you are hearing that, right? It uses the currency that you can earn as a free-to-play player in the game. So if you complete stages, if you complete your login rewards and all this sort of stuff, you get this currency that you see on the top right, which in the case of Endfield, they call that the Origeometry. For Arknights, we call it Original Prime, and you can use that to buy the skins that you want. So whether it's the basic skins over here that don't have any animations going on, or if not, you can get the live 2D skins, where some of them will cost 21 Original Prime, while others might cost 24 because they are able to produce special effects, they have special voices as well, good animations that comes in. Like, look at this, oh my goodness, isn't this splendid? But there's a bit of a fundamental difference between Arknights and Endfield as well, and that is the fact that for Arknights, the characters are in 2D, while in the case of Endfield, these characters are in 3D. So if you think about the amount of work that it takes in order to make those assets, Endfield will probably need more work because it's not just asking an artist to draw, you might have to model the skin itself, although it doesn't seem like something that is very difficult, because if you look at some of the fan creations that you find on YouTube Shorts, YouTube videos, or even on other sites like Twitter or Bilibili, you're already seeing how players are comfortably giving the characters in the game brand new skins. And this might be because of the fact that Endfield, if you didn't know, is made on the game engine that is Unity. So there are more people who are experienced with using Unity, and then they're trying to figure out how to get those character models from the game itself and then just change up what they are wearing, and that's why you're able to see those videos. So it kind of feels like something that the game devs could easily do and monetize in a way, but there is another round of difficulty. And that is the fact that if you were to have skins in the case of AK, they don't just wear a different outfit, but at the same time, they also have different animations that goes onto them. Like if you take a look at my Tonsalter over there, for example, he's in a whole different outfit, but his skill animations as well can actually change from what you might be used to. And if that were the case, you know, if there were skins in Endfield, will they also maybe remodel what their skill 1 to their skill 4 will look like? When I say skill 1, I mean their basic attack. Will it look any different? And then when the ultimate happens, will they have a brand new ultimate animation for you to take a look at the screen? So that just means that there's kind of more work than just what the fan animators are already doing in the game. They still have to see whether or not they want to upsell these items by making it more valuable with the case of seeing your characters behave differently. Now, I do think that having skins in Endfield is something that they should do, not just in spirit of following AK, but at the same time, Endfield has the problem right now where you don't have a purpose of your Origeometry, right? If you take a look at this Origeometry, what are you using it for? You're only using it to buy your gacha pools, right? If you need to pool more for the character, if you need to pool more for the weapons, you're able to do so. Or if you want to, you might be able to use it to spend on getting extra sanity. But even then, building units is really easy within this game. So there isn't too much of a stress, right? If you take a look at the bundles that this game has as well, it's pretty similar to AK, but there isn't so much of a heavy emphasis on the idea of Origeometry right now, especially for the fact that there is just not much of a need to spend it somewhere else. Arknights has a lot of cosmetics, not just in the form of skins, but also in the case where you can decorate your own base. So when it comes to the dormitory section of Arknights, you can actually decorate it with exclusive furniture, create your own and all that sort of stuff. We do have the Ditiang on Endfield, but unfortunately in the case of Endfield, the Ditiang doesn't have the ability for you to add stuff, or not too much at least, right? You can put your little trophies over there, but you can't actually like overhaul the look of your ship. So there's one less customization, and then yet you don't get skins on the operators within this game. I do think that they should eventually consider, because it would be a little bit sad if the only way that this game monetizes is via gacha, when AK explores on many other means in order to get their revenue, right? If you think in the case of the shop in AK right now, not only can you just buy the gacha pools as well, and then also the skins, you can also buy icons and the UI changes. So if let's say you want to change the UI of your current in-game screen, like you see over here, I'm using this like shoe theme, you can do so just by paying $5 within the game. Endfield is not there yet. So I think for the case of a first step, let's go with the idea of getting different outfits for the characters. The question would then become, how are they going to monetize it? Because are they going to use origiometry or are they going to make it payable? Of course, I think the payable thing is always going to be there. If you think about the case of AK, even though you can buy it with Original Prime, if you run out of Original Prime at some time, you would end up spending money, right, on either the packs or the Originium exchange in order to get those skins that you want. But I do think that it shouldn't only be paid by money. I do hope that if they do introduce it in this game, you can also use your origiometry for it. Then the next question becomes, how much should it be? Because, as I said, AK hovers anywhere from a price of actually 15 Original Prime, which isn't that expensive per se, right? 15 Original Prime to 24 Original Prime, that would be about a 10 USD at most spending, or even less than that. So if they do it in Endfield, since it's 3D, will they keep the same price? Maybe they won't, and especially because there's way fewer characters to give outfits for, right? If you think of AK where they have 400 characters, those skins can come aplenty, and some characters already own like 3 or 4. But Endfield, it's probably only going to be here and there that we actually see them, celebrate with 2 characters, 3 characters at the same time owning a skin. So I don't think it will cost that same low amount. There's a chance that I'm just gonna put it, maybe 40 origiometry, 50 origiometry. The interesting question here is, if they were to do that, and if they sell by origiometry, what do you think is a good price for them to set? Of course, it's gonna be very saddening if they don't allow the origiometry to be used for that purpose. But I think if they want to respect the AK players who have long loved, the franchise and the series that they've done, they should definitely allow that to be an option. And then that way, it will incentivize more people to just spend in the game, right? I think in a previous video that I've stated before, one of the things that I hope that Endfield will consider is to not only take people's money via the idea that, people must always be scrapping for pools, right? Cosmetic stuffs are pretty good. If you take a look at other game titles as well, with the likes of League of Legends or Valorant, where people buy gun skins, people do like spending their money on these things, especially if they care for the character. So now imagine that your Levitane actually has the Korokos famous summary skin that you have seen before, whether you're an AK player or not, or Angelina getting her Bloodline or Combat skin actually within this game. And not just the AK characters that I'm speaking of, the Endfield specific characters as well. Like if Fluorite gets a skin, would that sell very well? I think so, actually. And Pogranishnik having a younger looking skin as well. Ooh. They've already done collaborations in certain countries where they had like exclusive 2D artworks of various characters. And I think people are in love with them as well. So if we can see that within here, that would be cool. I do wonder if they will add the animations, as I've stated. It would just show that they put in extra hard work if they try to make the skin even more top-notch with the extra work that they put in. So anyways, you let me know whether you think skins will happen. I think how much will the skins be is a question that we'll be asking. When will the first skin appear in this game? That's also another question, right? I don't think it's out of the picture that it will never happen. It surely will, it's just a choice of when. I hope that they do it 1 year into the game. 6 months into the game feels kind of likely, but I would just be generous and say 1 year into the game. I would not be surprised if it's 2 years into the game, because if you think about certain other 3D gacha game titles, they also did go that late. But I don't think it's a good idea for it to go that late, considering how much players have been asking for it. So anyways, it's just a fun video topic for you guys to discuss together with me. I want to know your opinions down in the comments, and I'll see you guys in another video. Alright, bye-bye.